delicious Lisa Fisher.
2004, I moved to the Persian Gulf, this tiny little developing natural resources rich country called Qatar. Now, we used to call it Qatar. The people there are called Qataris, Qataris. The Qataris in Qatar are conservative Muslims. I didn't have to cover, but I wouldn't have been caught dead in this slutty getup either. That woman, she did not raise me to wait on Prince Charming. My mom was a typical woman of the 70s, a stay-at-home housewife who did not want either of her daughters to become stay-at-home housewives. She taught us to be independent. I was around 5 when I started to cook. I took her my first creation, an experiment with flour and salt and baking soda. Mommy, look! Ah, she's making cake. The next toy I get is a microscope. I feel caught between the 70s and the 80s. I learned that a woman needs a man like a fish needs a bicycle. And the girls just want to have fun. It's a highly confusing time because not wanting the fairy tale is not the same as not wanting love. You can barely even imagine how thrilled I was to discover for little more than renting a car, I could hire my very own driver. Not that this was just some self-indulgent dream come true moment. No, this was self-defense. Over there at that time, car accidents were the leading cause of death. You see, the roads didn't meet at 4-corner intersections with stoplights. They came together in these giant circles called roundabouts, seemingly designed to help the fastest, most aggressive drivers hurl through town without ever having to stop. This separated the roads into 2 types of drivers, the enraged and the terrified. Let me give you a little field guide. The Qataris, they weren't the meek ones. No, the drivers, they may have felt that same anger, but they knew one slip behind the wheel and they risked getting kicked back to their home country for good. So there I am, riding around with my driver, and I mean around. Getting in a car means giving up any idea of where I'm going, where I've been, or where I am. It takes me less than 1 week with my very own driver to realize that the constant aching nausea I feel is not some remnant of jet lag, but car sickness. Well, the good news is we've figured out what's wrong with you. Something's wrong with me is the good news. The bad news is you won't be getting your period anymore. That's bad news. These symptoms you've been having, I've been having symptoms. The sweating, inability to sleep, mood swings, cessation of your menstrual cycle. You're in menopause. What? Menopause? No. I heard you, but how is that possible? I'm only 38 years old. Well, it can happen. Stress and blah and blah and blah. But I'm not hearing a word that he's saying. I'm just totally overwhelmed with relief. Yes! There's something I can do about it. I'm not losing my mind. See, a few years back, I interviewed fitness guru Kathy Smith. She recommended yoga, supplements, acupuncture. God, maybe I'd start sleeping through the night. I can feel my life improving already. Which isn't to say the news doesn't also have its downside. On the ride home, I recall something else that Smith had said. The change of life is seen not so much as a change, but an end. The end of femininity, the end of being a woman. Absolutely, I'd agreed. Jesus, I had to be in perimenopause at the time. So what, I'm not a woman anymore? It's like when somebody asks you how old you are and you have to think, really think. Because while this may be changing, this really doesn't. Nonetheless, and I'm the morning person and he's the night person, I call immediately. There must have been some kind of hello, but all I remember is this. I want a divorce. I thought it was Cutter we were quitting, not us. I don't want a divorce. His reply leaves no room for interpretation. This is not negotiable.
I remember.
He comes over to me and begins to massage my head. I want to tell him that I love what he's done for my friends, but wow, oh my God, I'm so distracted by the fact that I am totally turned on. I mean, clearly the guy's gay, right? But I think I would have felt the same had it been his mother palpitating. Because it's been 8 months since my soon-to-be ex-husband left Cutter. I'm in my late 30s sexual prime, and there's something about living in the Persian Gulf, a country where women shroud their sex, men wear dresses, and it's illegal to date, that gets you thinking about sex all the time. And in walks this woman, beautiful, heavily made up, stuffed into this tight t-shirt and tight jeans, and he bounds over toward her for 3 kisses. Hello, 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 also very Lebanese. And he turns to introduce us. May I present to you my fiance?
Oh.
What? Okay, maybe he is gay, but seriously, this is a straight dude. I mean, not that there's anything wrong with them, but I have only ever had one experience with a straight male hairdresser once before, and it had made me vow never. Oh my God. When you don't know what to do, don't do anything. I mean, it's why I'm still in Cutter. It's why I stay in the shop. I return to the chair. One of his employees/friends has washed my hair, and I try and concentrate on this British Vogue that's been put into my lap. Before Renee even starts snipping away, I am off in another dimension. I mean, how do you make the leap from hello to good morning? What makes people decide to be boyfriend and girlfriend anyway? Am I really gonna have to learn somebody new? Figure out how they like their coffee, figure out how he feels about his mother, how he feels about my mother. An hour and a half has passed in that state, and Renee is fingering through my hair. Now you are more you, beautiful and a little bit wild. Well, it's a ridiculous thing to say. How could this guy know what's more or less me? But come on, I laugh it up. I'm trying to think of a pithy reply when suddenly he unfastens the cape that's been put around my neck, takes my head and neck into his hands, tilts it back, and begins to kiss me. Kiss is the right word to describe his technique. This technique calls for him to clamp his mouth onto my lips, and rather than opening and exploring my mouth with his tongue, to suction my lips into his jaw.
Agitation in the body is a manifestation of the mind. Think of this Vipassana as a surgical procedure, making incisions to the root level of the mind, clearing away the impurities. Only then can you be free to experience love, compassion, and goodwill.